Hey Deckers, the New World Aeternum open beta is now in full swing, and if you played New World, it will look awfully familiar. However, I must say it is performing a lot better, and we do now have full native controller support, and for one of the first times ever, the intro sequence is actually a very good depiction of how the rest of the game performs. Now the tutorial level is very pretty and very intense, and of course the starter area probably has more players than you're going to come across in most other areas, apart from in some of the major towns in the later game. So seeing 30 to 40 frames per second throughout these sections is definitely good to see. It is a very beautiful looking game though, and I'm very surprised at how well this is running on the Steam Deck and how good it actually looks, even though this is pretty much the lowest settings. During the night time, we are staying up around the 40s much more often, but it does seem to behave a little more poorly due to the effects during the daytime because there's a lot more shadows and other bits and pieces going on. And if you have a look at the settings, you'll see everything is on pretty much the lowest that it can be. I did change the FPS cap to 60, but it didn't really make any difference. And I have also turned off dynamic resolution scaling to stop a load of the extra fuzziness, as it does hold over that 30 for the most part. There are a few situations where it does dip under that 30 frames per second in the major towns and from some of the intro sequences. But as you can see, when we are in the daytime with much more effects going on, we are still pushing over 30 frames per second solid. So if you did want to cap this at 30 on the Steam Deck to get this super stable experience, then you will, but you won't benefit from some of the extra frames per second that we get during some of the fishing scenes and other areas. As you would expect, in town being heavier on all of the players and other things going on, we are pushing over 30. Although these weren't as populated as I've seen in the actual main game, especially around launch, so expect the performance to be a little bit worse in towns, but that's to be expected with the amount of players around. Otherwise, it is definitely playable as it stands, and the new controller inputs are making this game much easier to play. It's great seeing the chat from a lot of console players as well, bringing new life into the game, as well as them being able to experience the New World game for the first time. Let us know in the comments below if you're going to be diving into this one, or whether you're just going to go back to New World or play something else. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.
Did you see my cart? Never I should tell you this. You mean? Oh.